Okay, so if we move through some of the really important features that are on our topographic maps, probably the most important is contour lines. Like we said, contour lines are points of equal elevation. So any section of points that are connected makes a line. So if we have points that are equal elevation connected, we get a contour line. Another very important feature is called a benchmark. So a benchmark is a measured point of elevation. And it will have a number, instead of it being labeled with like 510 or 500 or some even denomination, it's going to have an exactly measured number, like maybe a 418. Benchmarks are designated on maps by the letters BM. So everybody take a look at their map real quick and see if you can find somewhere that has a benchmark. Benchmarks are also a lot of times designated with a small x. So I got one.
Here's one as well.
Daniel, you got one?
Yes.
Danielle, sorry. So I've got one right here, and you can see there's a small x, and with the label numbered on it of 453. So we know that the top of that peak is 453, whatever units it are, and we're going to talk about how we find out what units there are in just a second. So those are examples of contour lines and benchmarks. Now there are two types of contour lines. One contour line is a very dark line. This didn't quite work out. There we go. And the other contour line is not quite as dark. Usually you have these separated by the weight of the lines. The other way you'll notice is that the dark contour lines are labeled. Okay? So this contour line is called an index contour. And the other one is just called a contour line. So everybody again, take a look at your map and see if you can find the difference between a dark labeled contour line and one that is not dark and labeled. Danielle, you got one? I got one.
Yes.
Okay, what is yours labeled as?
462.
Okay, so if it's a contour line, it's going to be labeled with an even number. That's 462, sounds more like a benchmark.
Yes.
And if you look here, if I can get the camera in for a second, you can see that we have a dark line that is labeled right there. That didn't work. Dark line labeled there, and you can see that it's got the label of 450 on it. So we have index contours, contour lines, and benchmarks. We're going to move on with some more in the next video.